Okay. My name is Anton Kamaev. I'm a commercial director at iRidium mobile company, and today, together with Nikolay Rusanov, our representative in Russia and CIS, we'll hold a webinar on iRidium sales. So we'll speak with you about sales tips, how to present iRidium to your customers, why it's important to know its functionality and how to present it in the best way. So in general, we decided to create such kind of webinar because there are lots of webinars that we hold at iRidium Academy, but all of them are aimed on technical questions. And now we decided to speak with owners of business or sales managers, whatever. First of all, let me ask you a few questions about your experience. So first question is, what are you? What is your position in the company? Please select one of the options. It helps to understand who actually attends this webinar today. Okay, thanks a lot. We'll wait a couple of seconds. Okay, great. So most of you are owners of business. That's great. Another question is, in what automation area do you work? Is it commercial, residential, industrial, healthcare, education? If it's something else, just, leave it unmarked. Residential. Sounds interesting. Okay, 78% of you guys are residential integrators, let's say. And the last question to you for today, how long have you been in automation? So, interesting to know your experience. Okay. Thank you guys. So 40% of you are 5 or 10 years experience companies. Okay. So there is an agenda of our webinar. So we'll speak about iRidium in general, and then we'll go to the sales points, and together with Nikolay, of course. So we'll tell you about examples of ready business models. We'll speak with you about replicable solution based on iRidium. We'll share with you information about our advantages. We'll speak about our licensing policy. And of course, we'll tell you how you can reach us, where you can get support, etc. And for your information, you should find in the material section to this webinar at the right corner, you should see 3 booklets. So you are able to download them. So they are for you to assist you when you will have a presentation, make a presentation of iRidium to your customers. So you're welcome to download them from the material section. Okay, let's go further. So what is iRidium? It's a universal remote control that allows you to use your iPad or Android tablet or anything else to control the whole environment of your smart home, or it could be office or the whole building, just from one remote. So it's all about security, HVAC systems, shutters, lighting, whatever, and of course audio video stuff. So iRidium combine control of all of this stuff and allows you and your customers to control their homes just from one device. So what is iRidium for? With iRidium you can create any graphic interface, and it's pretty unique feature, and customers like it, especially in residential field, because they are ready to pay money for it, for customized, custom-tailored graphic interface. Secondly, with iRidium you can control your smart home or office, whatever, from any control panel. So your device can become a control panel. It could be iOS, Android, Mac, or Windows-based devices. And the third thing about iRidium, that with it you actually can control any automation equipment. And it's possible because of two things. First of all, we have the base of our native drivers that was created by our programmers, so to control KeyNX, Modbus, AMX, Prestron, or other solutions. You can find all of them on our website. Also, we have script modules made especially for audio-video stuff like Sonos or Marantz or Onkyo, Denon, Dune HD, etc. And the second thing is iRidium scripts. It's a special tool that allows you to create your own driver to control really any equipment that you want, that you need to use in your product. What kind of equipment you can control right now? So here you can see several examples. So it could be SIP intercom, Sonos Coolmaster, Samsung TV, whatever. All of them are available on our website, so you can find more information after this webinar at the website. A few words about connection scheme of iRidium to better understand the principle of usage of iRidium work. So here it is. As you may see, iRidium installed on a panel, on a desktop, so it could be desktop version or mobile version, tablet version. And it communicates with KeyNX, IMX, whatever, so automation systems and audio-video stuff directly via TCP/IP. There are several ways of it, so via Ethernet cable, via Internet like 3G or GPRS, or via Wi-Fi using just a switch. So that's it. It means that with iRidium you don't need to use any additional hardware. You don't need to buy it. The only way where you need additional hardware is when you need to convert, let's say, IR or IS-232 to IP, or you need to store some scenarios, some data on some unit, some hardware. For this purpose, in most cases, you and your engineers use controllers, servers, let's say. But actually, iRidium can communicate directly without all of this stuff. So what is iRidium today? What we have reached right now? So in the right corner, you can see that one of our customer, it's Andreas Deinzer from Siemens, use iRidium and share his feedback about his experience with iRidium. So we have a team of 20 members. They're professionals in their field. All of them are based in Russia. Of course, we have distributors worldwide, and we work to increase our distributor network to cover more countries. We are partners with such kind of manufacturers like CBus, Domintel, HDL, Global Cache. We are KeyNX member as well as Modbus organization members. We sell iRidium in 70 countries all over the world, and this number is growing year by year, so it's good. Another thing about iRidium, we have almost 500 certified specialists. So what does it mean? These guys, these integrators, they have experience and knowledge base of iRidium, and they pass some tests in order to become certified specialists. So it means they are qualified to use iRidium in their projects. And the list of these specialists is available on our website, so you can find them if you need some assistance, some help, because they can create a driver, they can create an interface, they can create the whole project. So it's up to you. If you need their help, they can assist you. And the last thing about iRidium right there, that we install about, not we, but our installers install about 1,000 projects based on iRidium every year. So it's about us today. Let's speak about main functions of iRidium. First of all, iRidium has lots of capabilities and functionality, let's say. You can find this information in a booklet provided in material sections. It calls iRidium capabilities, comparing several of our latest versions, so you can take a look. But let's speak just about main functions. Of course, there are a lot of technical matters because it's complex technical solution, right? But in general, you can use them as a sales points. So iRidium supports SIP intercom, so it means you are able to use intercom solution inside your home or office. It uses iRidium to communicate between two panels with using some SIP server, or if someone come to your apartment, so you can get notifications on your iPhone and see who's coming. We support IP cameras, so with a format of H.264 or MPEG-4, and it means you can also use them. We support MXPEG, so it's audio and video format. It's like something special and a bit technical. You can control your project, your installation in the local network or via internet. And we have a feature that allows you to remotely update projects via HTTP or HTTPS. So it's like a secure channel for your project updates. Yeah, I saw some question. I will answer on it a bit later if you don't mind. What kind of selling points you can mention to your customers? So first of all, and use them during your presentation. So with iRidium, you can use sensors of your iPhone or Android because we integrate, we have an integration with them. What kind of GPS, compass or accelerometer? So it means that when customer goes from one zone to another, from the first room to the second, his device can see, can understand where it is, where is he going, and shows the needed page of the project. So the page to control specific room. With accelerometer, when he shake his iPad or rotate it somehow, iRidium can switch on or off lighting or shutters to open it, whatever you want. So they can pay to you for it when you just tell them about it. Another thing, very important for, let's say, homeowners, there is a security or PIN access feature. It means that there could be several levels of access to the project. So you as an integrator can have the highest access to some technical parameters or settings of the project. Then homeowners has the third level, so he can manage everything, see IP cameras, open doors, everything. Then the second one is for his family or his kids to control just their room. And the first one for the technical stuff, just to do small things. So, and it's also possible to use this feature for commercial projects somewhere in hospitals or hotels. Another thing, multi-language. So we support several, lots of languages actually. And we support so-called BD texts, like Hebrew or Arabic. So it's also good because you never know who is your customer, who is the owner of the project. So please tell them about it and use it. Important things: bring your own device concept. I will tell you a few words about it. So we have special site licenses. With them you can control your installation from unlimited number of devices, of control panels. And with the latest version of 2.2, we have QR codes reading support. What does it mean? A customer can use his device, and when he comes somewhere, he can read a QR code, and with that QR code he will get a project to control a room, for instance, in hotel. So it's like just an example. So you don't need to pre-configure the project on his or her device. It can be uploaded via QR code. So here just should be some link to Google Drive or Amazon, whatever, and there will be uploaded a special project made for this device. So yeah. And of course, with iRidium you can create several projects and combine them, put them all together just in one app, in one project. So it's multi-design function. For example, if I am customer and I have a home, then an office and apartments, and I want to control all of them, I can do it just from one application, just from one project. Okay, so let's speak about modes of using iRidium, and for this section I will ask Nikolay to proceed to continue the presentation. So Nikolay, you are presenter. Now I will unmute you. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Nice
it's
to see
good.
you here today. Yeah, I hope you can see my presentation on the screen. Okay. So now a few words about different modes of using iRidium. It is kind of important to understand that you can use iRidium in a simple ways and in advanced ways also. So while selling it, please keep in mind that there is a basic mode of using iRidium. So it is not very hard to go to a wizard and to use pre-configured pages, add them, then change number of items if you need, and then change names, and almost nothing else. So it's pretty easy to use basic mode with wizard to create a new interface. Also, there is an advanced mode. You can create an interface from pre-configured template, which you can get from our website. There are some free templates and some commercial templates, which are actually better, which you can buy. Also, you can create an interface from scratch and from your own graphics. And there is also a super simple mode when you need nothing to do. You just ask professionals to do graphical interface for you. So if you don't have any person inside your company who can create nice user interface, you can go to companies like Intech, who, for example, creates personalized 3D graphics for your projects, and then adapts it for iRidium interface at fixed price. They can also create an application itself for you inside iRidium, so you can use it immediately. Also, you can search for interface designer or interface developer in the iRidium website, where you can find a professional of any kind which you need. So what typical interface looks like? When you sell iRidium to someone, you need to explain how he can control. It is not very good to tell that iRidium is a development environment and you can do anything inside there. So it is not very good for end user to hear things like this. But a lot of people try to sell iRidium like this, telling that it is a development environment. So client is confused and does not buy usually. So what you should explain to a client is that there are some rules which we use building our interfaces. So typical interface looks like this. This one is iRidium Metro interface. So on the top right, you can see general control of whole site, like lights or climates and others. It should not always be on top right, it can be anywhere, but there should be buttons like this. Also, control of separate rooms. So you can see all rooms. Pressing on each of those will lead you to room control page. And basic scenes, mostly used on this site, like people are home, away, night mode, romantic mode, and others. If you press on any lights on top right, on any buttons on top right, you can see general site control for one function. One function, all rooms. So if you press on sound, for example, you can see all audio zones, and you can control them from one page. Same goes to climate. So you press climate, and you can see climate control for all rooms. The third type of page is room control page, where you can control most of room functions. It should not always be condensed like this. You can use just some of functions, but if you use all functions, it looks usually like this. Lights section, motors section, climate section. On the left, audio video mini remote, where a person can control most of audio video devices in this room. And if it is not enough to use, you press remote down here and it expands on full screen. It also has scenes, but not scenes for all home, but scenes for this room. Like if it is a bedroom, good night scene, good morning scene, and so on. So this page is one room, but all functions of this room at the same time. Now, when you understand what typical interfaces look like, you need to understand how typical iRidium process looks like. So, what you need to do with iRidium from start to end. First, you're signing a contract with a customer. After that, you present to customer different things which you would like to sell him, like audio video equipment, like control equipment and others. Then once you present an iRidium to a client, you should prepare this presentation and show it good, otherwise client will not be ready enough to buy it actually. Then, if client likes what he sees, then you include iRidium in the specification. Then you get the payment for the license, and then do not forget to receive a payment for interface development, because payment for license is not enough for your job to create a good user interface. So payment for interface development should not be forgotten. Then you upload final project, and then you commission it, and you sign all papers. And after that, do not forget that you will make final changes based on the results of use. Because client will use iRidium Mobile for a month, maybe or two, and after that he will most likely ask you to change something in there, and you do so. Usually you do it without additional payment. And then you service. So nothing else you need to do with iRidium in your project. So main accents which you should remember are: prepare correct presentation. Otherwise, customer will not decide, and will decide to save money, will not decide to buy it. Second thing, now we have site licenses. Site license is activated, and then client can change his iPads, tablets, smartphones, but use same iRidium project. He should not buy more licenses. He should not deactivate license and activate again. He just uses his devices, nothing else. So try to sell not device license, which is of course cheaper, but try to sell site license. It has less limitations and will do much better for you. Also, do not forget to include the development of the interface in the work specification. Do not include just license. Get money for development of the interface. And last but not least, think of providing a remote update of the project after commissioning. So client can have a button. He presses this button and project is updated. Also, I would like to tell you a few words of the role of graphic interfaces in how end user evaluates installer's work. So let's say everything is finished. So now client evaluates which work is done correctly and which is not. So visual components of your project are mostly interior, but installer has nothing to do with it. It is what designer does. Light, same, installer has nothing to do with it. Media system can be very great, but client can use low quality content, which spoils everything, and media system fully depends on its content. So visually, it is not always very nice, even if it is great. So control devices is something which installer shows to end user, and end user evaluates his work on control devices mostly. So control devices impression is 30% key panels, no matter how great they are, 30%, nothing else. And 70% of client impression is graphical interface. This is based on our experience actually. Yes, of course, recording will be sent for you after the webinar. Not immediately though. Okay, so 70% of client impression is graphical interface. From this, conclusion number one is that graphical interface is the key component of customer satisfaction with installer's work, which is actually not clear for everyone because many projects now are commissioned without graphic interface at all. And client asks himself, why did I pay this money? Where is my home smart? And if he has graphical interface, he thinks differently. So conclusion number two is that iRidium should not be treated as a small addition to your project which can be used or not. iRidium Mobile is actually the main tool for installers to keep customers impressed and satisfied. So you include iRidium Mobile first, and after that you include everything else, because this is most important part for your client's impression. Okay. Which projects should include iRidium and which should not? Actually, there are clients which would not like to use iRidium, and there are clients which would like to use, but they are not offered. So when do we decide to use iRidium? First, if it is required to use a graphical interface on the site, you use iRidium. Of course, we cannot go further without this. If no graphic interface is needed, of course, no iRidium can be used yet, until server is out, of course. Second, the customer and installer agree that control from iPad, Android, or Windows or OS X-based devices gives the best value and simplifies future upgrade of the system. If you ask compared to what? Compared to panels which smart home manufacturers produce themselves. If you can find, if you can look at iPad and at a medium panel which you can find at from any smart home manufacturer, you will see that iPad has a better screen, is faster, and updating better and cheaper. And many Android panels as well. Windows panels and OS X computers are now also much better than 99% of smart home panels found on the market. Then, if it is required to control several automation systems at a time, it is most likely that you will need to use iRidium and not proprietary software. If you need to use several protocols, like audio-video control, KNX control, and Modbus control on one side, then most likely you will need to use iRidium. If you will need freely customizable interface, then you use iRidium. Most of competitor softwares do not offer free customizable interface. You just change button names and nothing else. And finally, if customer and installer, which often happens, choose not to use central server, and many people do not like using central server because they need special environment for it, humidity and temperature, and most likely separate room. Many clients do not like to use central server. iRidium works directly with equipment, so it does not use central server if you do not need it, of course. If you need central server, iRidium can work for it. But if you do not need it, iRidium, one of very few products on the market which can be used. Alright, so all these lead you to iRidium Mobile, so these are answers to your questions when to use iRidium or not. And finally, some examples of business model for iRidium mobiles which we monitor. The most used business models. First is Integrator. Integrator is a company which integrates different systems which are usually installed by other contractors. So Integrator usually does not install lights and climate. Integrator integrates them. Sometimes same company, but different people install these systems. But only very big company can afford being an integrator as well as installing automated systems itself. From our experience, most competences of iRidium for Integrator should include KNX, HDL Bus Pro, AV Control, and SIP, Sound over IP, for intercom systems. So if Integrator knows this, most likely he will be able to integrate fine. AV Installer is another type of the company. You can say that Integrator can be AV Installer. Of course, but mostly on a best projects, AV installers are separate people who understand very well audio-video equipment, much better than a normal integrator, which needs to deal with different things like lighting, climate, and others should know. For AV installer, main systems are home theater, multi-room systems, and multimedia network systems. Main iRidium drivers, which are used in AV installation business process, are AV control, AMX Crestron, Sound over IP, and JavaScript modules. I hope you know that you can find many JavaScript modules for audio-video on our website, and even more from different installers. Next business model is installer of climate systems. This is usually a company which installs heating, air conditioning, and ventilation. And main iRidium drivers for this type of company are Modbus and lately some KNX. Installer of security systems is a company who deals with access control, safety, intercom systems, and video surveillance. And main iRidium drivers which are used for it are AV control, Sound over IP, and Modbus. Why Modbus? Because many security panels now support Modbus for some reason. The last but not least is the business model of creator of replicable solutions. When you think of solution which you can sell many times. So usually a person thinks of something which needs control application and goes finding some company who can create this application for him. If he can create application himself, he usually lacks of the system which will give him easy access to Apple App Store, Google Play Market, and so on, and other services like this. If instead of creating its own application, you use iRidium Mobile to create this application, it will be a lot easier for you to do so. So, no limitations for systems, and main drivers or replicable solutions are used AV control and JS modules. So now we are going back to Anton. Thank you very much for hearing me.
Just a second, let me find this slide and I will switch to my desktop. Okay. Yeah, Nikolay, thank you very much. So you will stay with us until the end of the webinar to answer the questions of our attendees, right? Okay, good. Okay, let's speak about ready, replicable solutions and what kind of them there could be. So first of all, it could be home theaters, when you create a special interface to control it, and then you just install them to each of your customers. Nothing else, nothing more, just home theaters. Another business model, another replicable solution is multi-room system. So you can aim on installation of multi-room systems only. It could be conference halls, It could be houses, smart homes. It could be apartments, of course. You can automate offices, or you can work with hotels or hospitals. Actually, you can work at education field. So it's up to you. It just as an example. And now we would like to speak with you, just share with you information about one of our integrators. It's Armageddon Sound company located in Israel, just to tell you how they use iRidium and what kind of replicable solution do they have and how it works in general. So here is a concept of their business. So they have a retail shop and they use to sell iRidium as an additional service for smart home or home theaters. So when a customer came to them to buy a TV and some speakers, here's they advise to a customer to try iRidium as a remote control solution. What they are doing in case of visualization. So, of course, they have created their own project and they do not change it in any way. So they use just one and the same visualization for each of their projects. So the idea of their project is the simpler, the better. So just 2 clicks and you are ready with some function. So that's true, and not only they prefer to use iRidium in this way, as a simple and understandable solution for their customers. So they also try to avoid any works where they need to explain how everything should work, because they think, and probably it's true, that it's guaranteed that the maintenance service will be required for a long time. They want to avoid these situations. So, and as a conclusion, as their owner said, that 90% of their clients use iRidium as a universal remote finally. So they just use iRidium. How do they do the presentation? So they, of course, prefer to have a physical demonstration, and it's the most effective way. I agree with them. But if you have no showroom or no demo case to show the work, the principle of work with iRidium and some hardware, you can use something like demo interfaces, which you can get on our website. So they like emulate ready project, but without any hardware. But anyway, it's a way to present. It's better to have something. And they said, they have a set of 6 remotes, and they just suggest to a customer to switch everything on with these 6 remotes, like TV, DVD, DVR, some other stuff, AV stuff. And then they just give an iPad and ask them to switch everything on with iRidium just from one button. In case of marketing, of course, you have to be careful to promise more than can be done because of your experience, your limitations of some knowledges, or because of limitation of some hardware. You should know what you can do. So don't try to tell yes to any question to a customer. First of all, it's better to consult with us if we are talking about iRidium, how it could be done, and we of course prefer to suggest our customers to test everything in advance. And here is a profile of their company. So here is their specialization, here is their location, and they say that their main audience for smart home with age 40 or 65, and for home theaters it should be different because the income is different, and etc. So here they specify what kind of functionality they normally provide to their end customers. And here you can see some numbers of their projects. So it's truly replicable solution because they install almost 50 projects annually with iRidium. So, and they mentioned that most of licenses they use, this is AV license, iRidium for AV and custom systems, and just a few licenses for Kinix. But it's their case. It's not just the way that you can use iRidium. So, and there is, their information. So they are on the market 10 years, on smart home market. So they use iRidium 2 years, and where they are located. So of course we have special projects made based on iRidium by our integrators. It's just for your information what can be done. So as I told you, there are examples of using iRidium in hospitals. So we have a Belgian integrator. They installed iRidium in a hospital for disabled people who are limited to move, to use their hands or legs. So they can use just one finger, but with it they still can control the environment. So it's good. Educational sector, of course, like universities or schools. Situation rooms can be made with iRidium, operation control centers, and yachts. So we have many projects with yachts that was done worldwide. Let's speak about iRidium advantages. So, of course, when you choose to use this solution or another one, you have to understand what to prefer and what is better with this software. So, we have a native apps developed for iOS, Android, OS X or Windows-based devices. So what does it mean? It means that the interface runs directly on the device, so it works faster than any web graphics. So when the customer controls his home, in order to do it, he needs to install an application from a Google Play or App Store, and then you upload the project and it's ready. We have a unique visualization system. It was developed by our own. It means that one and the same interface looks and works similarly well on any OS. So if you developed one for iPhone, then you can auto-scale it for Android phone, and it will work with the same speed, and it will be reliable on both of these systems, gadgets. We have one platform for control the whole site, to control the whole house. So you can control and integrate any equipment. So we have an example when Integrator in the Netherlands, they used iRidium to combine control from Helwar, from Modbus, from KeyNX and Crestron. So it was a bank office, let's say, and why not? Could be done. Another thing, so we have iRidium scripts to add new systems to iRidium, to create new drivers to control any stuff, any equipment. iRidium works with audio-video devices via IR, IS-232 or IP. So it's also good to control the whole environment, and iRidium support of SIP intercom and IP cameras. So everything can be done with iRidium without any additional services. And to understand finally the concept of iRidium, we want to focus your attention on these three things. That with iRidium you don't have any limitations to create not only your own design, but the interface can be done with any navigation and logic. So it's pretty unique, pretty custom tailored solution for automation projects. Let's speak about pricing and licensing option. First of all, we provide an access to the price list for integrators and installers only. For this purpose, we ask all our users go through the full registration, and when they are approved, they can see the whole list with the whole products and buy them. Of course, price depends on two things. First one, it depends on the equipment and system you're going to use. So we have, for instance, different licenses for KNX, Modbus, and HDL. And of course, it depends on the number of control devices. As I told you, and Nikolay mentioned, we have device license just to control the installation from one panel. We have site license, which is bound to a controller, and with it you are able to use unlimited number of control panels. And the third thing, the third license type, is a full license. What does it mean? Why is it full? Because it supports all drivers that was done into iRidium. Not only KNX, not only Modbus, but all of them. So if you have a project where you need to combine more than 2 systems, we ask you to use full licenses. It will be easier and cheaper. Where you can get technical support. So first of all, you're welcome to visit our website where you can find FAQ section. You can get lots of information, lots of details on iRidium Wiki. We have video lessons. They are available on our website as well as on our YouTube channel. We have an iRidium Academy. So to proceed your trainings, you can join upcoming webinars. Email, Skype, phone, so it's normal. Somewhere we have representative like Nikolay, he is our representative in Russia, and we have distributors. So you can find them on our website. If you don't see a distributor for your region, for your country, contact us directly. We answer during the 24 hours for the emails. What kind of sales materials and tools we would like to provide to you? So, first of all, you can use booklets for customers. So they answer the question, what is iRidium for? In the most suitable way for end customers. Lots of pictures, nothing about technical details, just why is it needed for and why is it good. You can take a look on examples of projects in the iRidium mobile website. So with it, you can get ideas how iRidium is used and how you can work with it, in which way. What is also good, we have recommended equipment on our website. It helps to choose the right combination of devices. So iRidium is just a software, and we understand that you don't use only software on a project. You need to get hardware. We have many integrators who are not very experienced in automation market, and they ask us what kind of equipment we can recommend them. So here is the answer. Please take a look. You can find it in support section, recommended equipment. We recommend such kind of stuff like devices to control, to use it as a control panels, SIP intercom, IP cameras, converters, controllers, and many others. So take a look. And Integ, as Nikolay mentioned, it's a developer of interface designs on iRidium. And what is good about this company, there are a lot of developers, but they were the first one who make a booklet with an examples of their interface, and they have a price policy that is pretty clear for each of you. So take a look. If you need some interface to develop, you can refer to them. Of course, you can refer to the specialists, certified specialists on our website, where they mention that they are developers of the interface. It's also good, but these guys provide the whole information just in one place. So actually they can do something with this interface, many buttons, looks not good. They can create these things like a floor plan. Another thing, as you may know, we provide trial licenses with 30 days limitations, and actually we created them in order to allow customers to play with iRidium before they choose to work with you. So to make a simple project to control their current hardware, current system, and tell, okay, take a look how it can be done. Because there are not only projects you work with when they are on the first stage of the development. There are many projects that was done by other integrators, but owners are not satisfied with it, or it was simply not finished. So here it is, the way to use it. So this is one of our integrators, Martin Conant's, and that's what he said. So that's a better way to present iRidium than PowerPoint presentation or flyer, advertisement, or booklets. So we provide unlimited number of trial licenses after you become a certified specialist. One of the tools to use iRidium to promote it. Thank you very much for your attention. Now we are ready to answer your questions. Maybe you're faced with some situations that you don't know what to do or need some advices from us with Nikolay. Please let us know in chat. And I'd like to ask you to evaluate this webinar when it's finished, how useful it was. There will be 4 questions to you. Thank you, and we are ready to hear your questions and answer them.